Tatiana Arrington. Where is the Buzz TV? Hey Lily, how are you today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. I'm such a fan of yours, so I'm so excited to talk to you today about your new film.
Thank you.
Um, in this film, Grace deals with trauma, heartbreak, grief, thoughts of what happens after this life on Earth. And throughout the film, you were just so grounded and so present. What did you learn about yourself through Grace?
I love Grace. I think she's so she just really meant a lot to me playing her, playing someone who was so obviously wearing their heart on their sleeve. And I think it just reminded me how much I do that as well. I'm someone who's very transparent. If I'm having a bad day, you can tell I'm wearing it on my face pretty easily. And I think Grace's transparency is something that I appreciated.
Mhm.
I think because that's how I live my life as well. And she wasn't trying to put on an act for anyone. And she also wasn't trying, like, she was also just being very honest with herself as far as her healing process, like able to acknowledge when she was, to say, oh, I'm not ready for this, to kind of
Right.
take charge of her emotions. It kind of made me realize that I kind of navigate in that same way. I'm very aware of
Mhm.
how I feel, and so yeah, that kind of just I felt very in line with her in that way.
Yeah, for sure. And that definitely comes across on the screen as well. It just radiates that message of not more so love, but more so I need to learn how to take care of myself, maybe before I can put that on another person.
Of course.
Um, and just the words and the poetry in the film is so transparent as well. And I know you're a big fan of poetry. How was that bringing that element into the film as well?
So weird. I mean, life imitates art. It's just like
Hmm.
now I'm promoting this movie a month before my poetry book comes out.
Hmm.
It's just weird timing, good timing. But
Yeah.
I think, yeah, obviously I bought a book of Pablo Neruda poems when I was filming. And I was also reading I bought a book specifically about poems about grief. So I was kind of filling my mind with, and I was watching like depressing movies throughout like I really was just trying to get myself in a melancholy, somber state of mind of someone who's had their entire life change in the blink of an
Hmm.
eye. And so I don't even know if that was me answering your question.
No, totally. It definitely was. Thank you. And was this your first time producing? What was it like to put your producer hat on?
Yeah, it was an incredible, I had such an incredible time, and it made this experience so much more special. To be involved in something from the very beginning to the very end was really,
Hmm.
I loved every second of it. I will do it again in a heartbeat, and I'm very much already in the process of executive producing more things for myself to shoot after this next season of Riverdale. So I'm very much enjoying the producer life and having kind of a say in all these
Right.
things, and kind of having my opinions matter and taken seriously. I'm like, oh, look
Hmm.
at that. People are trusting what I'm saying about things that usually
Hmm.
I have no input on. So it
Yeah.
was kind of a new experience that I loved.
Absolutely. And I can't wait for audiences to see Chemical Hearts because it radiates and it touches you in such a way that you don't even realize it is, especially during these times. So thank you so much. And I can't wait for audiences to see it. It'll be
Thank
great.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Great talking to you.
You
Austin, how
too.
you doing today?
Hey, Tatiana, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So I want to talk to you all about Chemical Hearts. I want to start
Yeah.
off by saying your voice is so soothing and so compelling to listen to as
Oh,
our
thank
narrator
you.
throughout the film. So really enjoyable on that.
Yeah,
So in the
thank you.
film, Grace gives you a book of 100 love sonnets. Are you a poetry fan? Do you consider yourself a romantic?
Ooh.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I think definitely. I mean, I think Lily's a big uh, poetry fan, and but she's got a poetry book actually that she wrote, um,
Hmm.
and yeah, so she definitely like I think exposed me to some poems, and yeah, and showed me some good stuff. But yeah, no, I think definitely. I mean, yeah, no, poetry is beautiful.
Mhm. Yeah.
No.
And I feel like in the film, Henry kind of makes Lily's character Grace out to be sort of his manic pixie dream girl trope, if you will, but the
Yeah.
film kind of negates that completely. Um, how do you feel that changes Henry's viewpoint when he finds out that she's not the girl that he thought she was or that he could turn her into?
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, no, I think it changes his perspective completely. And I definitely think like if he was to look at the experiences that happened to him like a year later, there's
Hmm.
probably like a lot to learn. In that moment, I mean, he's very much just like in it. Um, and there's not much of like a perspective yet, I guess, actually.
Yeah.
Um, so I think like a perspective about it probably comes later. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I mean, that's definitely, I think, a big surprise because it's not like a straight lie. Um,
Right.
but it's just like not, I guess.
There's just so much more to her, than
Yeah,
that, than.
yeah, and I think that's definitely a sort of like shock, and there's definitely like desperation there of trying to
Mhm.
hold on to what he thought was true. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. To wrap it up, what is one word that you would describe Chemical Hearts for people who maybe have no idea on the spectrum of what it is? And-
Oh my gosh, one word. Oh. I don't know if maybe heartbreak is good. Maybe
Heartbreak is
that's a good
good.
word. I mean, that seems to kind of cover the whole thing.
Yeah. I
Uh,
think this movie is definitely for the brokenhearted.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. That's how if I had one word, maybe that's one of them.
Mhm. All right. Well, thank you so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. And I can't wait for everybody else to see the movie because it was spectacular and you guys did an amazing job in the
Oh,
film.
thank you very much. I appreciate
No
that. No, I
problem.
appreciate you talking to me too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hi, Tatiana.
Hi. So I want to jump right in and talk about the dynamic between your two characters. What was it like working together? You guys bring so much lighthearted energy to the movie, and it's really enjoyable in those tough moments in the film that we watch.
Kara and I are madly in love with each other in real life, so it is really easy to play love when you love someone.
Mhm.
It was wonderful. We were partners in crime on this thing. It was beautiful. It was one of the most fulfilling and beautiful partnerships in art I've had in a long time.
I would have to agree. There was a lot of different things leading up until us when we actually were on set that was very kismet and beautiful. And so like Coral has taught me a lot about myself in this since we've shot this film. And I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, I want to talk about as well. Carrie, your character is very open in her sexuality and very free, whereas Coral, your character is very, still learning about herself and still very timid. What is that like to have these type of queer characters on a film and getting both of those types of different representation?
Yeah, I thought it was really important for me to be the artist when approaching La, to show a very unapologetically Black, queer, creative teenager who's radical and is going to be the change that she wants to see in the world.
Absolutely.
And to express herself with the most potency and truth, which I feel like is incredibly important for other Black teenagers to see this young, queer, Black child, expressing herself. That is important. And to also crush on someone who's also a brown person, there's something very symbolic to the sisterhood of Cora and La in this very traditional kind of narrative.
Yeah. No, it's also good to play someone who to see that other kids to see that it can be hard and that it's okay for it to be hard. But you know, someone like Cora is really lucky to have a La at her school, not only because it's easy to fall in love with someone like La, but to see someone who is so full of life and proud of themselves, that's life changing. And so hopefully having the both characters, Cora still figuring it out, and La, who is so proud, will get someone to that point where they too can be happy and in love and free.
Hmm. Thank you so much. Yeah, I feel like this representation in this film is so important, and I can't wait for people to see you guys shine in the film. And it's going to be great. Thank you so much for this time.
Thank you so much.
Tatiana.
Thank you.
Where is the buzz?
Oh,
Where is the buzz? You said
We used to be
was
a singer group.
mine,
Oh,
mine.